Hello everyone, dear student, this is Dr. Sanjeev Padvi and I welcome you to the first recap session on rocks and minerals. Dear student, we will be looking at the questions that are based on rocks and minerals and the characteristics of igneous rocks, their uses and only up to igneous rocks in our session 1. In session 2, we will be studying about the remaining rocks and the rock cycle. Now dear student, please remember in this session we are going to look at MCQ based questions, answer the following type of questions, give reason type of questions, picture based questions and also at the questions which are the answers for 3 marks. Okay. So dear student, let us start our recap session and as usual we will begin our topic with multiple choice questions and our question number 1 here is rocks are dash in nature. So what they are dash in nature? So they are homogeneous in nature, heterogeneous in nature, uniform in nature or non-uniform in nature. What do you think is an answer? I hope you must have guessed it correctly. The rocks are heterogeneous in nature. So question number 1, answer is B. After B, dear student, what is written there? After B, heterogeneous. So you will be writing there heterogeneous, this word also. Now the meaning of this word heterogeneous, that means something which is made up of variety of things. Okay, it is not made up of single thing, it is not made up of single mineral, but something that is made up of variety of minerals, many type of minerals, then we call it by the name heterogeneous. It means its structure is consisting of many minerals together. Our question number 2 here is minerals are dash in nature. So dear student, minerals are homogeneous in nature, heterogeneous in nature, uniform in nature, or they are non-uniform in nature. And I am very sure now you must have guessed it correctly that it is homogeneous in nature. That means they are made up of more or less same type of substance. Okay, mineral is made up of more or less same type of substance, same that means the substance having same chemical characteristic and physical characteristic. So minerals are homogeneous in nature. Our question number 3 here is dash is the most abundant element in the crust with 47% of the weight and of the crust, followed by silicon with 28%. So who is present in maximum quantity in Earth's crust? Is it magnesium, nitrogen, oxygen, or it is hydrogen? And dear student, here answer is of course oxygen. So oxygen is the most abundant element in the crust of the earth and Earth's 47% is made up of oxygen. Our question number 4 here is feldspar, quartz, mica. These are examples of what? They are examples of silicates, carbonates, oxides or bicarbonates. And your answer, dear student, all of them are example of silicates. So question number 4, answer is A. After A, silicates is written, so we will be writing this entire thing 4A silicates. Now dear student, question number 5 here is the dash rocks are called as primary rocks. Which rocks are called primary rocks? Sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, igneous rocks or all these rocks are called as primary rocks? Dear student, here answer is igneous rocks. Okay, so answer of question number 5 is C, that is igneous rocks. Our question number 6 now: granite, diorite, gabbros. These rocks are called dash rocks. They are sedimentary rocks. They are extrusive igneous rocks, intrusive igneous rocks, or they are metamorphic rocks. So, dear student, here answer is all of them are intrusive igneous rocks. So, question number 6 answer is option C, intrusive igneous. Okay, please remember that whenever you write answers in examination, you will not only write the question, you will not write only the alphabet associated with the answer, but you will also write down what is associated with that alphabet. So here it is igneous, intrusive igneous. So you will be writing here intrusive igneous, this entire thing to be written down in answer. Okay, now our question number 7 is now: dash is formed in Dead Sea, Caspian Sea and Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. What is formed? Salt of calcium, rock salt, iodized salt, or none of the above? Dear student, here answer is rock salt. Okay, now rock salt is also termed as Ayurvedic salt. Okay, and it is used as medicine in Ayurvedic science. Question number 8 now here is that dash is used for making fertilizers, detergents and ceramics. What is used? Is it sodium, potash, calcium or nitrogen? And dear student, here answer is potash. So question number 8 answer is B, potash. Okay, now question number 9, dear student. Now density of acidic igneous rock is about dash gram per cubic centimeter. Cc means cubic centimeter. So density of acidic rocks is about dash gram per cubic centimeter. So is it 3 gram per cubic centimeter, 2.8 gram per cubic centimeter, 2 gram per cubic centimeter or 3.2 gram per cubic centimeter? Answer is C, that is B. So 2 gram per cubic centimeter. Okay, in physics language you must be knowing that the cubic per cubic centimeter, cubic stands for 3 and per is denoted by minus sign. So therefore 2 gram per cc, that is 2 gram per cubic centimeter is our answer. Question number 10 now: dash are used to manufacture cement? Granite and sandstone, gypsum and limestone, limestone and quartz, or it is feldspar and granite? I'm very sure you must have guessed it correctly. Here we use gypsum and limestone for manufacturing cement. Okay, so gypsum and limestone. So 10B is our correct answer, dear students. Okay, now after looking at MCQ based questions, now let us turn our attention to answer the following questions in short. Please remember these questions are generally asked for 2 marks, sometimes even for 1 mark. Looking at the weightage, if the question is for 2 marks, you will be writing 2 points. If it is for 1 mark, you will be writing here minimum 1 point. So let us start, dear student. Our question number 1 here is, and question number 1 is, what are rocks? So generally children write down in examination rocks are the hard material, okay, or they are something hard, solid. Please don't write any answer like this. You have to be specific. You have to write the proper answer. Dear student, the rocks are the hard material like granite, basalt, gabbros, etc. But also the loose material like sand, silt, etc. Please remember, rocks are not only the hard materials but also the loose material like sand and silt. Point 2, rocks are aggregate of minerals. Aggregate means they are combination of minerals, or in other words, they are made up of many minerals. Question number 2. What are minerals? Now, dear student, while writing the definition of minerals, we will be writing down that minerals are the substances that are found in nature in a natural way. So, they are naturally occurring, inorganically formed substances. This is point number 1. Minerals are naturally occurring and inorganically formed substances. Point number 2, minerals are the substances that have fixed chemical composition and physical characteristics. Okay, that will be the complete answer for what are minerals. Our question number 3 now. Name the major minerals present in the Earth's crust. Our answer is point number 1. The most abundant mineral present in the Earth's crust is oxygen with 47%, followed by silicon 28%. This is our point number 1. Point number 2, the other major minerals present in the Earth's crust are the minerals of iron, aluminium, magnesium, and you can also write down that the other minerals which are combination of silicates, carbonates, sulfides, and metallic minerals. But among them, the most abundant one are oxygen, second is silicate, third one is aluminium, fourth one is iron, fifth one is calcium, and sixth one is sodium. They are most abundantly found minerals. Our next question here is now, what do you mean by intrusive igneous rocks? Dear student, intrusive igneous rocks are the rocks that are formed by solidification of magma under the surface of the earth. When magma start rising up and before it comes out, it begins to solidify under the surface of earth, then those rocks are called as intrusive igneous rocks. Example of this intrusive igneous rock, the very famous one is granite. Okay. Now, question number 5. What are sills? Now, again, dear student, if you can explain this answer with the help of a diagram, nothing better than that. You can draw here surface of the earth, then you can draw here the magma that is present below the surface of the earth. When this magma is rising up, it begins to spread horizontally between the layers of the rocks. So if there are some rocks and if there is some gap between them, then this magma begin to spread in that gap horizontally. And now the rock which is formed in this way are called as sills. So sills are horizontally formed rocks under the surface of the earth by solidification of magma. Now, dear students, our next question is, what are extrusive igneous rocks? Answer is again very simple. Extrusive igneous rocks are those rocks which are formed by solidification of lava. Now, we will not use the word magma. Now, we will use the word lava. Example is basalt rock. Now, our next question is, what are dikes. Now again here, now dike, again if you can explain this answer with the help of a diagram, nothing better than that, dear student. Suppose this is magma chamber, okay, and when this magma begins to rise up, okay, so this rising magma cools down below the surface of the earth in vertical or in slanting manner. That vertical or slanting mannered solidified magma is called as dike, which is very hard, which is very resistant, and you will be surprised to know it can extend for even hundreds of kilometers. Okay, it's a very long one. Question number 9. What are batholiths? Now you can see here batholiths are gigantic intrusion of coarse grained igneous mass. Coarse grained, coarse means very rough. Gigantic intrusion, that means when the magma start rising up below the surface of the earth, it gets solidified in irregular manner, forming a very huge structure. That extremely huge structure, which is formed after solidification of the magma under the surface of the earth, is known as batholith. Our question number 10, dear student, here is that what are the major categories of minerals? Major categories. Now you can write down that major categories of the minerals are silicates. You must have heard the name calcium silicate. Okay, so silicates. Then second is carbonates. You must have heard the name calcium carbonate. Okay, then there are sulfides, and the fourth category is metallic minerals. Sulfides example is hydrogen sulfide, and metallic minerals you can give many examples like iron, gold, silver, aluminium, and so on. So these are the categories of minerals: silicates, carbonates, sulfides. These all are non-metallic minerals, and metallic minerals examples are iron, aluminium, copper, gold, silver, and so on. Our next question here is now give reason type of questions, dear student. Minimum 1 mark questions these are, and sometimes even they are 2 mark questions. Let us start with question number 1. Igneous rocks are called as primary rocks. Primary means original rocks or the first rock to be formed. Answer is very simple. When magma start rising up from the bottom of the from this, when magma actually, which is present below the surface of the earth, when it start rising up, it gets solidified either under the surface of the earth or on the surface of the earth, forming rocks. These are the first rocks to be formed, therefore they are called as primary rocks. So igneous rocks are formed by solidification of magma or lava. These are the first rocks to be formed, therefore we call them by the name primary rocks. Question 2. Igneous rocks are very hard. Now dear students, please remember that igneous rocks are formed by solidification of magma. Now when this magma is getting solidified, the crystal formation occur, and it has got interlocking structure. Interlocking. So this interlocking structure is making the chemical bonds between the minerals very, very strong, and that is why these rocks are very hard. Question number 3 now. Granite is used in building construction. Why in building we use granite? Now dear student, granite is intrusive igneous rock. Now this granite is known for its hardness. Second thing, it is known for its glossiness, for its shine, which makes it very desirable for construction work. It has got a very beautiful structure, glassy, shiny structure, and moreover, it is very hard also. That is why it is mainly used in building construction. Our next question here is basalt is used to make railway track. Now, dear student, when the railway tracks are made, okay, you must have seen this. If this is the railway track, they put up here this small pieces of the rock, which are generally made up of basalt. The reason is basalt is one of the very strong rocks found in nature, and that is why to make the railway track very hard, railway track very stable, they are using basalt rock. Why only basalt? Because it is abundantly found, also found on a very large scale, and also it is very hard. That is why railway track will be made using basalt rocks. Our next question is Olivine is used in making jewels. Okay, now remember, Olivine is one of the very beautiful mineral having very glossy structure, and it looks very shiny, and therefore it is used as a precious stone. How we use pearls or we use diamond, similarly this Olivine looks very beautiful, very shiny, therefore it is used in making jewels. Okay, now let us look at now some of the questions, dear student, which are answer the following type of questions. And our question number 1 here is, what are the general characteristic of intrusive igneous rock? Intrusive, that are formed under the surface of the earth. Now, first characteristic, these rocks are formed below the surface of the earth, so they have enough time to get solidified, to get cooled. Therefore, they form large crystals. That is point number 1. Point number 2, they are generally very compact because crystallization has occurred very easy, not easily exactly, but it has taken a very long period of time for getting crystallized. So enough time is there for interlocking system. So they are very hard and compact. And point number 3, they appear glassy, they appear shiny in appearance. Example, quartz. Second example I already gave you, that is granite. Okay, now what are the characteristics of extrusive igneous rocks? First thing, dear student, extrusive igneous rocks are found outside the surface of the earth when lava solidifies. Point number 2, that these rocks are further classified, okay, as hypo-explosive and white rocks. Okay, very interesting. They are further classified as explosive and white. Okay, now these explosive ones are formed by ash and dust. Please remember, explosive igneous rocks are formed by ash and dust, whereas these quiet are formed by the lava that erupts from fissure. Fissure means the crack develop in the earth's surface, and when the lava comes out, that is called the fissure. So when the fissure eruption occur, quiet type of rocks are formed. Okay, now our next question here is, what are the characteristics of igneous rocks? So there are many characteristics of igneous rocks, dear student. Okay, I have written down here answers purposely, and I would like you to please note down the keywords in these answers. I repeat, keywords. Okay, now first one, that igneous rocks are formed by solidification of what? Magma. You can also write down lava. Magma means the hot molten material. When it is present below the surface of the earth, it is called magma. When it comes above the surface of the earth, it is called as lava. So igneous rocks are formed by solidification of both magma and lava. Second thing, they are very hard and compact. Very hard and compact. Then they are not fossiliferous. That means they are not formed because of fossilization action. Then they are either granular or crystalline in nature, and they mainly consist of silicates. Interestingly, many important minerals like iron, gold, silver, lead are found in these rocks. Okay, so in this way they are very, very useful also. Now, what are the uses? So use number one, you already know that these igneous rocks are used because in them we find important minerals like iron, gold, silver, zinc, etc. Second thing, igneous rocks are very widely used in construction purpose, building construction purpose, because they are very hard rocks. We also use them in construction of dams, railway tracks also. Granite rock is used, dear student, not only for making the buildings but also for making statues and also the kitchen platform. One of the very famous igneous rock is called as Olivine, that is used in jewelry that we have already seen. And dear student, there is one more called pumice. This pumice rock, okay, is used in order to sharpen the blades of knives. That means it's very hard rock, so you can take a knife and you can sharpen it. Okay, so it is used to also for used to smooth skin or scrap up grime around the house. So it's very hard rock. Now students, after seeing this, let us turn our attention to the next question. Distinguish between acidic igneous rocks and basic igneous rocks. Please remember, acidic igneous rocks, they consist of 65% amount of silica, whereas basic rocks have less amount of silica but more amount of aluminium, iron and magnesium. Okay, please remember, very basic difference. Igneous rocks which are acidic consisting of 65%, about 65% silica, so more silica and less amount of other minerals. But in basic igneous rocks, less silica but more amount of iron, then aluminium and of course magnesium. Now acidic igneous rocks are less dense, their density is less, whereas basic igneous rocks density is more. Because density is more, that means they will be more hard, they are more hard. Okay, so you can add one more point here, that acidic igneous rocks are less hard compared to basic igneous rocks. Basic igneous rocks are more hard compared to acidic igneous rocks. Next point is, these acidic igneous rocks are light in color, whereas basic igneous rocks are dark color. Okay, now after that, the next distinguish between question is sills and dikes. We have already seen that the sills are formed by the solidification of magma horizontally, whereas dikes are formed when the magma is rising upward and it is getting solidified in vertical fashion or in slanting way. Point number one. Second important point between them is that sills are comparatively less resistant. Dikes are very, very resistant. They do not get corroded or eroded very easily. Sills are formed, okay, that means when the sills are formed, when they are horizontally formed and when they come above the surface of the earth, sometimes they will form the terrace like structure, whereas dikes, because they are rising up straight, they will form the ridge like structure, ridge. Okay, now after this, dear student, one of the another very important distinguish between rocks and minerals. First thing, you can write down the definition of rocks. We have already seen rocks are aggregate of minerals, whereas minerals are the naturally occurring, inorganically formed substances having fixed chemical composition. Second difference, rocks are heterogeneous, made up of many types of different materials, whereas minerals are homogeneous. Okay. Third difference, very important one, that igneous, you can classify rocks as igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Whereas for classifying minerals, we have already seen they can be classified as silicates, sulfides, also as the metallic minerals and carbonates. Okay. Now, a picture based question, dear student, here. Now, here it is mentioned 1 and here it is mentioned 2. Question is here, name the type of rock denoted by 1. Now, you can see here this is a surface of the earth. The rock is formed now on the surface of the earth. That means this magma has come out. Okay, this magma has come out and rocks are getting formed here. So, the first one will be extrusive igneous rock. Okay, that will be your answer. So question 2 is, name the type of rock denoted by 2. Now you must have guessed it 100% correct. It is formed below the surface of the earth. Therefore these are intrusive igneous rocks. Question number 3 now, or C question. How are 1 and 2 formed respectively? So you can write down that extrusive igneous rocks are formed by cooling of lava on the surface of the earth, whereas 2, that means these rocks which are below the surface, these are called as intrusive igneous rocks, which are formed by solidification of magma. So these are formed by solidification of magma, whereas these outside ones are formed by the solidification of lava. Our question D now, give one example of each. Extrusive igneous rock, dear student, you can give an example as basalt, whereas intrusive igneous rock, you can give example as granite. Okay, so granite is an example of intrusive igneous rock. Okay, so I hope, dear student, okay, these all points are very clear to you. Okay, and I wish you best of the luck, study well, and may God bless you abundantly. Thank you very much.